Right, what am I going to talk to you about this morning? Right, basically I'm going to talk about why you should use KK Mobile and what is it we do. A little bit about me for those of you who don't know. KK Mobile Tyre Service started 10 years ago this month, so big achievement for us. Things changed a little while back and we needed to sort things out, obviously young kids, family and everything else, and that's how it become where we are today. Over the 10 years we've grown. Obviously you never stop learning in any business whatever you do, so you're always constantly learning, but it's all about looking after the customer. That's what we really pride ourselves on, is doing the job properly, first time, walk away from it, not having to go back. That for me is perfect customer satisfaction, because at the end of the day you're going to come back to me and go, brilliant, can I have some more, and you should use him. They'll go, brilliant, have some more, and it works through that way. So that's the power that we're looking for. The sort of things we're looking for, as in a referral, would be any one of these tyres, because you never know what we're going to do. But what we mainly specifically, the three areas that we cover is car, van and 4x4. We don't do commercials. Anything over 3.5 tonne, we don't do whatsoever. We're not geared up for it, so we're not going to try to do it. I say 3.5 tonne, that goes from any little van, from a small little Vauxhall minivan, for example, up to a 3.5 tonne transit twin wheelbase. That sort of thing we're looking for. The 4x4 stuff we can cover. We get specialist tyres in from Portugal and Italy and stuff like that for the special off-road market. Obviously that's what I do for a hobby, so we do that. So we cater for that side of things. And the cars, obviously it could be anything from a Mini. We've even done three-wheelers. They're quite fun to check up. You have to be careful. And then, you know, you sort of go on to like your Ferraris and your Lamborghinis and stuff like that, which is quite nice because then people are putting their trust in you. It's not just a run-of-the-mill car, but if you do the job properly, you know what you're talking about, you also get good referrals from their people because they go, use him, he's fantastic, he doesn't scratch the car, he really looks after it. That's what we're all about, is customer satisfaction and knowing the job. Knowing the job, you need to know the job when you're out on the road. There's no point just turning up willy-nilly going, oh yeah, band crash, well, it's all right, it's just another wheel. It's not. Every car is different. You need to know what you're looking for, especially with the new cars nowadays with like safety sensors, like not safety sensors, tyre monitor sensors. Some of them have them in the ABS system, and some of them now have, or not now, for a long while now, have had them special valves with like a sensor block on the inside of the wheel that transmits back to the engine ECU and tells it on the dash what temperature, what pressure you've got in your tyres. Now, obviously, when they first came out, it was just an alley wheel, valve that you had. You knew, and you had to be careful. With the new cars nowadays, they're a rubber valve that screws to the actual block. The sensor screws to the underside. So to look at it, you think normal rubber valve. Don't have to be careful. Well, you do. You have to be careful. You have to know what you're doing. Again, that comes with knowledge. The vans are fully equipped with semi-automatic tyre machines, electronic balancing machines, laser tracking gauges, air jacks. Why do we use air jacks? We use air jacks because if we're going into people's drives, some people have tarmac, some people have block paving, some people have gravel. With trolley jacks, they're heavy, you're on 4 points. So if you're on tarmac drive and it's a hot day, for example, you can leave indentations in the drive. Customer's not going to be very happy because you've just damaged the drive, or you could crack a block on block paving. We use air jacks because it has a big spreader plate. It doesn't sink in the mud if the guy's stuck on the side of the road, or leave any indentations in tarmac when it's hot. So that's the sort of equipment we're using. Every wheel nut will get torque wrenched up to the correct torque setting, so we know we don't over tighten the wheel wells. The amount of problems we see with them is unbelievable. What I would say is a real good selling point for us as well is, if for people that you know, is garages. Yes, there's lots of car service garages or car cleaning garages. There's even mobile valeters and mobile mechanics. We're looking for them people as well to join up with, as in some garages don't have the facilities or the room to fit tyre machines in. They don't want to know about it because it's something else they've got to worry about, so on and so on. That's where we come into play. We work with a lot of garages where they go, we've got a customer coming in, they've been in, had a quick check over for the MOT, a pre-MOT check. It's coming on the estate, they need some tyres, can you quote us? And this is the sort of thing they're looking for. And we will deal with them, price the job for them, and basically we'll turn up. Basically, it's just another selling point for them to give to their customers, because they can go, right, while it's in for a service, we can get the tyres done, or your puncture repair, because we do repairs on site as well. You know, and when it comes in for a service, we'll turn up with the tyres, we do the job while they're doing the service. At the end of the day, the car's going back to the customer, fully done, package deal, finished. Okay, now either some do it some ways, whereas we will charge them and they'll pay us, and then the customer just pays them a one lump, or they'll get the customer to deal with us direct, because they don't want nothing to do with it. They just go speak to this man, but it's all arranged for the same day. So that's the sort of thing we can do, which then takes the onus off of the garage owner. Not the onus as in such, but it's another way forward for him or her, whoever owns the business, to represent and push their business forward, because they're not only just doing mechanics now, they can now do tyres, they can do puncture repairs. If they haven't got the tracking gauges, we can do the alignment on site. We use the laser tracking gauges, so it's very, very precise. So that's the sort of thing we can do. In mobile mechanics, we're dealing with a few mobile mechanics where they're going around, like me, they're going around, pulling up at, I don't know, say for example, Chrissy's at home, he's working from home, he's booked a car in to have his service done. While they're doing a service, obviously they're there checking over the car. By the way, Chris, you need some tyres. That's all right, I'll give this man a call, or I can ring him for you. It's all done, arranged with the customer, price there and then. And the beauty of it is, with us being mobile, is we're not site-based. Obviously, we come to you. We cover most of Essex. So as a rough guide, you're talking from sort of Shoeburyness area, right up to the A406, Ilford, Chinkford, Buckhurst Hill, Loughton. We go as far as Harlow, Braintree, Wickford, obviously Chelmsford, Hatfield, Peveril, that area. So we cover a large area, so it's a large coverage that we can cover. But having that cover, you need the backup. So we've got various different wholesalers we can pop into during the day if we need to pick tyres up. Or we can just order online. We're linked in with them online, so we can see exactly who's got what stocks, how much they are, if there's any specials on, so we can advise you the best way forward like that. Which means we open up to a vast network of tyres. So it's not just a case of what we've got on the shelf. If you like, if you go into a garage, we've only got these, that's it. If you want something specific, we can get hold of it, or if it's booked in for, say, 2 days' time to have your tyres done, or you know the garage rings us up, we've got this car coming in, this is what they want. If we haven't got it, we can have it overnight, and we get 2 deliveries a day from some of our suppliers. So it opens up a whole world of tyre suppliers of what we can do. Also, as well as the garages, we do also do some private van fleets. We look after the fleet maintenance on them. So if say for example, there's one of my customers, they've got a fleet of X amount, I think it's 9 or 10 vans now, but the guys don't really go out on a Saturday. It's Monday to Friday. They're full bore from sort of 7 o'clock in the morning right through till 4 or 5 o'clock at night. But on a Saturday, they're all in because they don't work on the weekend. So what we do is every 2 months we go in and we check all the vans for them on a Saturday morning, free of charge. It doesn't cost anything. And then basically, if there's any tyres that have got damage or that are worn and need changing, then we'll arrange to get that done, and we'll be back the same day. So it's all done and dusted, finished. Or if there's any tyres that are getting low but aren't to the point and they can get a bit more life out of them before they need changing, we'll advise them and arrange a different date to come back in. So that's pretty much us and why you should use us. If you look on the website, there's lots of testimonials from various different customers over the years just saying the same sort of thing. So that's me, that's Kevin Holman from KK Mobile Tyre Service. Any questions?
Yeah, when you earlier spoke about the different tyres that may have sensors in, how do you get to know about that? Do the tyre companies send out information on new tyres that are brought out with sensors, or do you get it from the manufacturer of the vehicle?
You normally get it from the manufacturer of the vehicle. When you read up on the, you know, there's tyre trade news and bits and pieces like that. So you know, you get information of what's coming in from there. But it's all about knowing what sort of it comes with experience, because obviously if you don't know, you know, I mean, I've had it in the, don't get me wrong, like I said, you never stop learning. I've had it in the past where I've gone, I've got to be really careful with this because it's a sensor valve. Because they are expensive. You know, you're talking sort of 65 quid normally, plus the VAT trade for a sensor valve. So But I've been, you know, you think that's definitely a sensor valve. When you take the tyre off, you take it off a special way so you don't damage it, and you go, well, it's not, it's just a normal valve. But, you know, there's certain telltale signs that you look for, and especially with the new rubber ones. I don't want to say, because some people might not know, but at the end of the day it comes with experience, but there's a certain thing you've got to look for.
You said that you don't over-tighten the wheel nut. What's the issue there then?
A lot of the garage, not I say a lot of the garages, that's wrong. Some of the mechanics out there, or people that work for garages, obviously a lot of people supply all their own tools. Although they're employed by the garage doesn't supply the tools. So the actual worker supplies the tools and buys them all himself. Now, a lot of these new guns now are so overpowered, you know, that they're just far too much. There is a setting on them. Use the settings. Don't just go full bore and they sit there and go, da, 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 da. Do you know what I mean? There's no need for it. Every car's got its own unique torque setting. They're roughly all about the same as a guide. But when you're sitting there on the side of the road trying to change your tyre, and you cannot use your wheel brace, or your wheel brace is bending or snapping because it's been done up far too tight, obviously it becomes a problem for us. And it's a hell of a problem with locking wheel bolts. The amount of people we get, they've just been done up too tight, and now it's just slipping because obviously we're using tools that are square on, and when your normal wheel brace in a car is slightly angled, if you have a spare and you have a wheel brace now, and a lot of cars don't come with spares. And obviously if they put too much force on one side, it starts to veer off, and it damages the key. Once the key's damaged, it's going to start slipping out. We've even had it on the side of the road where we had to change the tyre by hand while the wheel was still bolted to the car, because I snapped two breaker bars and a socket, and I couldn't get them off with a gun. They'd just been done up so tight. The guy had annihilated his locking wheel bolt, but we ended up changing. He'd been stuck there for 4 hours. No one could. We tried various different people, and we actually physically changed the tyre on the car with the wheel still bolted to it, replaced the valve, and put a new tyre on for him. Obviously, we couldn't balance it because we couldn't take the wheel off. But you know, go back to the garage where you got it and let them deal with it. So that's the sort of experience you get.
Thanks, Ken.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay.